It is out. Legends of Runeterra, the card game from Riot Games, is finally out. If you have had already access to it, then you will be able to play it already. For everyone else, it will be out tomorrow. For the next few videos, I'm going to play through the entire tutorial. I have already played the tutorial once it was in the open beta. Open under quotation marks. You had to get an invite to actually get in, but no worries. Tomorrow it will be open for anyone. You can't just download the game. Let's hope that everything works out splendidly. As I said, this is the tutorial, so we will face AIs. It is just to get back into the game because the game is similar to Magic, but it's also similar to Hearthstone. It's kind of a combination of things. So I will just play through simply because it has been a while since I played Legends of Runeterra. It was closed for a decent amount of time. Not being so rusty, especially in a grindy game, can be really helpful because for anyone who doesn't know, Legends of Runeterra tries to be free to play entirely. You can nearly you can't even pay yourself to the top. That's what I want to say. You have to play to gain something. And that's hard, right? Especially because if you just want to create new accounts and whatnot, Smurfs, for example, especially streamers, I can see that there is a limited. So if you just want to grind that, it is nearly impossible, I would assume, or even impossible altogether. The tutorial is fairly easy, though. It is just battles against NPCs. At least that's what it looks like. If there are any questions that I should cover or that you have and the tutorial doesn't clear it up, you're more than welcome to just post it down in the comments below. As I said, I already played this on 2 separate occasions, so there isn't really a whole lot. When I struck, then recall me. This is a unit that goes back to the hand and it has first strike. In this game, different to Arena, first strike works so that they only damage first when they attack, and they attack always, and it's their attack phase when this little icon is here, opponent's attack token. When they have the token, they get to attack. It's not really a turn order, right? Because if they play a creature, then I am given the opportunity to play a creature after attacks. I am given the opportunity to play a creature, and so forth and so on, right? So it really destroys the order of turns that usually happens. What doesn't what is different though is that I'm losing my train of thought here over here. This is entirely different to other card games, right? We do have the instant speed play, you could call it, right? Like it is in Magic. But you could also just call it something like no turn order, basically. It's just attack order. Because now I have this token, you see the sword, now it's my turn to attack this turn. And I'm just gonna do that. I really like this pull thingy and just drop it down. And the other important thing that I should cover are champions. In this game, the decks resolve around champions, not necessarily color. A champion decides your color. And you can, at maximum, have 2 different colors, right? But you can have multiple champions in your deck. This tutorial deck, works with Garen, and I've struck twice, meaning that he has attacked twice and survived it. Give other battling allies +1/+1, and fearsome battling in this case refers to my bench. Apparently not. No, this works when they attack. Okay. So it's an on attack trigger. We are back. Apparently, they didn't swing in whatsoever. I'm just checking if there is anything that has enough value for me to play right now. This is elusive, can only be blocked by elusive creatures, which my opponent doesn't have, and tough, take one less damage. I'm not sure if this is for. No, it says this round, so sadly this doesn't work. But this means that I really want to get down this elite. It says here at the top because this works. No, this works if an ally died this round and only if summoned. So there is not really a point. He has 2 mana left, and because this is gonna be a 2/2 tough minion, a tough minion always loses 1 damage less than it was dealt damage towards. I'm just gonna swing in with everything here. He can kill my Garen, sadly, but I think the overall damage should be worth it, especially because they also lose to Katarina. Because as I explained, first strike only happens if you attack, and in this case, I attacked. They were supposed to block, and they did block. Now they're on 2 HP, meaning that this tutorial will be relatively quickly over. I think currently from what I can see how long the time is, that I might want to do 2 tutorials at a time to keep it short, not too short obviously, but not here you having to sit through an hour video for tutorials if you decide to watch it, or if you decide to watch the whole thing. This will be it. And with that, I don't know if the tutorial has multiple stages. Doesn't look like it. We press finish. Their nexus explodes. That's what we are attacking. It's less of a phase like in MTG or in Hearthstone even. It's like it's in League of Legends, the MOBA. It is a nexus. That's basically this gem thingy. I'm currently in the prologue. I literally just started up the game, and the vault is something that on every Friday you can open, meaning that everyone who gets to play today will have the possibility of opening a vault tomorrow, meaning that I will grind this day out simply so that I have the most possible wild cards that I could have and whatnot. We are now done with this. If we check it down below, there should be. It is here on the bottom. You see, this is Clash of Blades, what we literally just played. So let's go to the top and proceed just with the next one. Defend the North. Let's go. This. Yeah. By the way, I don't have an issue with playing the tutorial, even though it is just out. And as I said, it is an extremely grindy game because you basically can't spend money on it. It is near impossible to spend money on this game simply because, first of all, there are no packs. You buy wild cards, like just in MTGA, just that you buy the wild cards directly, and they are limited. You don't get to just buy 5,000 wild cards for common, uncommon, legendary, and what do I know. You will need more than allies to survive this time. Okay. Well, I only have allies. Allies, I mean in creatures, not spells. We apparently start attacking, and this is the Lonely Poro. It gives us another Poro. Each color has a different Poro. We got one that has elusive. This is Piltover Son. Elusive, we already saw it on another card. Basically only means that elusive creatures can block it. I'm pretty sure it's relatively close to Shadow, where only Shadow units can block other Shadow units. And now because we played a different Poro, our Lonely Poro is no longer lonely. I cannot. We're blocking, we're not attacking. I'm a genius. I'll give my Poro plus O+2. Simply so that it survives the attack. They told us that this was probably what we need to do. Next turn we only have 3 mana. So we won't be able to play anything from our hand. And because the priority works different in this game. If we just immediately attack, there is no time for them to even think about playing a creature. They just have to accept it. Now they can play a creature. If I would have played anything else, then that we would have a giant issue. Okay, so I cast that spell even though there is something like a spell mana bank, just to have it already drawn so that we might not draw it next turn. We usually try to not to keep less mana open than we have slots in our spell mana. Frostbite means that it has 0 attack. If I'm not misinterpreting it, yep, it sets the power to 0 attack for a round, and then there are obviously the question is, do I want? I think the 3/4 here is big enough because the biggest thing that they have is a 3/1 if we count it in that and those kind of stats. And I'll actually go ahead and kill my 2 Poros simply because it will leave my opponent's board literally empty, and they only have 2 mana for this turn, and I will still have a 3/2 with which I can swing next turn, or I play the Bull El Nook and the Lonely Poro, simply for the ultimate power. I could have also just kept the flash freeze open and waited. I think this is the safest option because they just can't stop us. Now again, they are able to play creatures, and because they played a creature, I can play a creature. If they wouldn't have played a creature here, or they weren't able to play anything here, then there would be this pass thingy, and I would get priority back. But because I can still do something, I don't need to press pass. But be careful, now that I played something here, my opponent would get again the option to play something here. We already attacked. It's not like MTGA, not like Hearthstone where you can attack multiple times. It's a 6/5. This is a burst spell, so we have 4 mana left. Overwhelm, not really something we need. I'm only playing this because we still have 3 mana left, and currently we need to be wary of the Darius. So I'm going to Frostbite it, and then we want to deal the most damage possible to it. Then we play so that we get. This time around, I'm actually trying to keep the Lonely Poro out of 2 reasons. First of all, is that we can kill Darius next time with my Lonely Poro, but I think he's going to block anyways. And Grand Poro allies everywhere. Now we could play 2 creatures, but I think this is better. Attacking with everything and saying Poro snacks. This only increases our attack power by 1, but if we decide to play more Poros in the future, then that would heavily increase our power. Down to 5. The Poro snacks might actually be the reason that something like a Poro trial might be possible. I'm going ahead and play the Tryndamere simply because he has Overwhelm and he currently only has small creatures. We can afford to not block simply because we are at 17 and he only attacks with 6. All we have to do is just finish the game. So that's that. The first 2 tutorials of Legend of Runterra. It's out today for everyone who was pre-registered. For everyone else, it's out tomorrow. I guess have fun with the game and happy grinding.